We came back in time for that.
Yeah.
Then 2 days later, we got on a plane, came back here.
Yeah. Well, at 100 a throw, that's easy to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd have been back for that.
All right, we'll get started in just a couple minutes.
How long does it take to fly there, Daryl?
Well, it's according to which way you're going, but it can be anywhere from 2.5 to 4 hours. Headwinds.
Ours is usually 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprising. Debbie flew out and she was 45 minutes early getting in, coming into the headwind. So they'll tell you it's more like 4 hours, but it's not. It rarely is that. That may be the entire time. You disappear? Terry.
All right, I think we're having some bad Wi-Fi here.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Is this thing on? Yeah, cool. All right. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Schaumburg Hoffman Estates. Look how lovely you all look. Smiling, it's beautiful out-ish. Maybe not. All right. Vince, how would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have Daryl online. We can hear you, Daryl. Say hi to everybody once again. That's the voice from above that you all hear.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, geez. And you're extra loud today too. So, hey, how would you like to lead us in the four-way pact since you're talking?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. First, I will have the courage to tell the whole truth. I will be kind in the way I tell it. I will be fair and not seek selfish advantage. I will have an open heart and an open mind.
All right, now you can mute yourself. We don't want to hear from you Jack, if you can lead us in an invocation.
Think of our head. Dear God, we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for the guests that are with us today. We ask a blessing on the Rotarians here and around the world and the projects that they're involved with. Bless this food and this meeting to our use. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Very good. Go ahead and take your seats.
Play with Cano. I do. Use your fresh leaves. That's not always the case. Oh, yeah, no. I wanted that for lunch in my hair. I wanted like the way I firm. I didn't I don't have any friends like but I was actually, you know,
Oh, so see. All righty, we got lots and lots and lots of stuff going on today. Got some things to make up for that I forgot to do in previous weeks. We will be introducing our guests here shortly. Got some Rotary news of the week, of course. Announcements. We are going to recognize the past 2 months of birthdays and Rotary anniversaries. That's the stuff that I've been neglecting. I've been trying to do it every other month at the beginning of the month, so it should have been done the first week of March, and I think we were at somebody else's place and any other excuse that I can think of. So just you can fill in your own excuses there. Let's welcome guests. We've got Bruce. Would you like to introduce the person you have next to you? And then you'll be able to give your announcement in a second. Very good. So we'll keep moving this way. Alan, would you like to introduce your guests?
Yes, most of you have already met Crystal,
We got this. Michael Erickson, a man that seems to have.
We have a former member who just won and left for Arizona 20 years ago.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Did I miss anybody? No. All right. Well, I do have a Rotary Foundation minute of the week. These are emails actually that get sent from Rotary and the foundation that just lets you kind of know what's going on and what some of the stuff means. For some of you who are new members and some of us that have been around for a very long time, you hear people talk about DDF this, DDF that. It took me about 3 years to finally ask the question, what does that mean? So For those of you who are new, you don't have to wait 3 years now. DDF is district designated fund. And in most cases, if we raise money and it goes to something global, and I am looking at Bill Kelly here, or should I say Billy, they can usually match some funds, and that doubles the amount that goes to some of our worthy causes. So if you hear what, now you know what DDF stands for and how it works a little bit. So we've got Rotary anniversaries in February. As I mentioned, it was missed, and there was a lot of them from February. Don Miner celebrated 32 years of Rotary. Exactly. Vince Sanasardo, he celebrated 43 years. Whoa, how about that? Roger Smith, 21 years. And I think that's all of the people that are here for this one. Am I missing anything? Okay, so that was in February. So for this month, in March doesn't seem like a very popular time to join Rotary, but 22 years ago, Rosemary Justin decided to join. And then birthdays. You know, I it's been almost 2 months now for February. Ted, I did not know that you shared a birthday with my son, February 15th. Happy birthday to Ted. Terry Park is online. There he is over there in the corner. His was February 21st. And yeah, clapping, sure, why not? So where people don't join Rotary in March, they seem to be born in March. So Bob Fleischer, he's here March 6th, just a couple of weeks ago. I guess Rosemary celebrated 22 years ago her birthday by joining, but also having a birthday on March 13th. And if you recall, it was the exact day of the Classic last year, and we did a very special birthday song for Rosemary at the Classic. Alan Gabe, look at that. He's got a birthday. Is it a couple days ago? I lose track of what date it is. Happy birthday, Alan. I was too busy trying to email you that day. So, so let's just do our big birthday hubbaloo. And if you want to donate, you're welcome to, because I know I'm late with this, but here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Yes. And you guys are wondering why we're slowly not doing birthdays anymore. All right. Who's happy? We got happy dollars. Who wants to start off being happy today? There we go. Linda is happy. Look at how smile. She's got the smile ear to ear. Not only is she putting out $1, she's going to help us collect.
Okay. I have 2 happy dollars. I went to an event on Wednesday night. The AM Club's Super Bowl fundraiser at Homer Stadium. It was a lot of fun, and they raised a lot of money, and a brand newly opened restaurant won. So that's exciting for them. So I have $2 happy dollars for that.
Very good. Yeah.
Got back from California, where we were visiting my wife's brother and family, many of whom we haven't seen in years. In fact, some we had never seen. It was a wonderful visit.
Good. Don Miner.
We had, this is for, I didn't get a chance to talk about your event. We had our scholarship a couple of weeks ago. We had excess of riches this year on talented kids. So we had 5 kids that we identified we'd like to send on to the district. We could only do 2 in our club. The morning club did 2, so that left 1. Contacted Barrett, and they took that kid all 5 were selected.
Oh, good.
And so they made the interview round, and I fully expect them all to come home this week.
Very cool. Anyone else happy today? Right.
I have $5 happy. I also got to visit my AM Rotary Club friends and have some great soup. Linda was there, she was there, of course, Rosemary was there. It was wonderful.
Very good. Heard great things. Very good. Gene.
I have two happy dollars for the soup cook-off. It was actually really fun. I didn't realize how big they do things with this soup cook-off. I hope they do it many other years. I did not see Alan Wood there, so but it was something a lot of fun. So we're also for his funniest. And then I have two happy dollars because I was actually talking to Alan Gay the other day, and he gave me a little piece of trivia. He said, "You do know on the day we're going to have a Rotary meeting, the 25th." He said that day, Teddy Roosevelt in 1905 was president. And I said, "Oh, really? That's an interesting fact." He said, "Yes, I know this because I was sitting in my office at the time, and Rotary had just opened a couple of months ago, and I wanted to be one of the longest standing members in Rotary. And of course, now here he is."
Very good. I hope you didn't give too much money for happy dollars because you're going to need that. Yes. Dave, would you?
I can't match that, but I'm happy because I'm back in Schaumburg. I'm visiting my kids and grandkids, and I enjoyed the meeting today. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Dave. It's great to have you back. Chris?
Happy dollars because we're taking 75 kids to the Rotary Bowls tonight, and we are excited because every time we play an event, we have snow. So snow's coming in.
Anyone else that oh, yes. Carolyn. Very good. Anyone else? Well, actually, you have an announcement too, right? Why don't you come on up and I believe Huntley. We went out to Huntley to do some classic collecting, so they've got their fundraiser. They're gonna Carolyn's gonna tell you a little bit about.
Hi, everyone. A little bit about myself. I'm Carolyn Okafor. I'm the International Chair for Rotary Club of Huntley. I work for Customs and Border Protection at the airport. So we're doing a fundraising for vocational scholarship and wheelchair for those that are affected by polio, especially in Nigeria. Unfortunately, I was unable to show you videos to see what they do, the wheelchair that we're looking for that is being made over there. Because the people, they crawl, with their hands on the ground, and the wheelchair that is made over there, they make it so that they roll the wheelchairs like a bike with their hands, and there are some that are operated with a battery. So we're having an event. It's a mystery fair and Easter dinner. I left some flyers on the table, and I'm hoping that you also get it via email as well. So it's going to be an event whereby everybody there is going to solve a mystery. It's going to be a murder mystery. So it could be one of you. I don't know you all that well, but I know you're all lovely people. But you're going to be giving clues. While that's going on, you're going to be served with food, and you will be getting a glass of wine or beer or drink water or soda, whatever you want. So we're hoping that you will come. The ticket is $40. So, and then if you go online to purchase the ticket, the $10 that is attached to it to donation will go to Ukraine. So that ticket goes to Ukraine. So we're looking for you guys to be there. And then if you're coming, to bring just a little thing to be auctioned, because there's an auction going on. The mystery dinner is based on Jack Sanders, who's an auctioneer, and he sells, he auctions things that he gets, and he claims they're from the rich and the famous. So we want you guys to bring things. And also we're asking that you bring us some private donations if you have companies or sponsorship, you can sponsor the event as well. So we also, I'm just gonna say that we already got a big sponsor, which is good. You get a plane ride, a private plane ride, 2 or 3 people in it, and it would take you to your home or something. You take a picture if it's not too far. You also get to go to Lake Geneva. It will take you there. We're having breakfast in the garden and then dinner in a deck. So the dinner is gonna be like an African style. So you get to try snail. How many people have tried snail? This one is really special because it will be well cleaned and it will be tossed in tomato. So, so you will not have the gummy taste of it. It will be spicy. So I expect to see you guys there. Hopefully we'll all have fun, just to raise fund for a good cause. You guys have been doing an amazing job. That's why I joined Rotary. Thank you. And we're raising this fund on behalf of Warren Higgins, who was a member of our Rotary Club. He's been a Rotarian for a long time. He's an author. He passed last year at the age of 96. And he always put me to shame. Whenever I go to a club and there's a happy dollar, he's always putting in $2 bill. And I'm always coming there with a $5 so I can get the $2 bill. So I don't get the $2 bills anymore. Okay, so hopefully you guys will come and enjoy the day. Thank you so much.
All right. Any other club announcements? Yes.
I have a little strange request.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have connection with President Obama's library? Do you? Do you?
Yeah.
So, Alan, you too? Okay, I got this email. They asked me, do I know anyone at President Obama's library? So, not necessarily, but I asked at Rotary. This email, I got the details now. Former president of Tuskegee Airmen chapter wants to donate a gold replica of the Congressional Gold Medal and scroll. He commissioned both and he paid for both. He does not want any money. The gentleman is a retired colonel, 94 years old, creator of his own foundation to honor women in the military. He has placed the other gold medals in other museums. He wants his last one to go to Obama's library. The original is in the Smithsonian Institute, and it's the exact size, and it is made of gold. So he has one left, and they want to know who has a connection to donate it to President Obama's library.
Can I get back in touch?
Yeah, please get in touch with me, and I will do that.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Sure. I like that. Anyone else with club announcements? My only thing is we do want to continue inviting people to our meeting. I've got a couple of people that are planning on coming the next couple of weeks. If you're ever trying to describe what Rotary is and what it's all about, just invite them to a meeting and let them meet everybody. It's like trying to describe a haircut. You really kind of can't. You got to get them to come here, talk to them while they're here, and go from there. So we do have, if you haven't gotten your Rotary gear, I want to thank Rosemary and Pat for organizing this. I am wearing the shirt that I purchased, and I think it looks pretty good despite it being on me. So they are over here, and they're collecting the money. You can't grab your stuff without paying them. So they're sticklers on that one. So here we go. The whole reason why you guys really come here. He said, oh, that doesn't help. How about we do that? All right, let's see if we can get the spin going. And of course, it's not working. Tick, tick, tick. There it is. All right. Holly is not here. So we have to choose the lowest number available.
Choose number 6. Finish out the top row.
Lucky number 6. The famous Blades person.
Oh, she wins a little. Joker.
Joker. I believe it's 5%.
5%.
5% of $3,400 or so. So not bad, not bad. Got a good big round of applause.
Ryan, you got that? I was just gonna say,
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and just eat? I think the food's arriving, and then we'll bring up our happy scappy find master coming up soon. All right, so for you guys, I'm gonna mute so you guys can talk probably about 10 minutes of this. We are expecting our speaker to come on, so hopefully you're not in the middle of a strange discussion when she comes on. So I'm muting myself and you.
I can't hear you, Terry. I mean,
Uh,
oh, there you are.
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Oh, yeah, good idea. It's a little later there. It's only 10:40 here.
Well, I actually had a 10:40 lunch. You want to have some more?
Attaboy.
You know, I gotta be, I'm growing.
Not
Wrong
a
way.
girl?
Are you home or
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona? Sorry. That other warm place.
Yeah, the other home.
Yes. It's nice and cold. Nice and cold up here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the low 90s today. So we'll get 3 days of that, and then it'll go back down in the 80s and even down into the 70s for highs. So,
This is my violin for you.
well, it's not so bad now because your weather's not so bad.
And today it's pretty cold out.
Cold is a matter of feeling, you know. I grew up in Minnesota. It was nothing. You just had to learn how to dress for it.
I grew up in Buffalo. I completely agree. Well,
Yeah, that's snow.
yeah, and you got to know how to drive in the snow. Nobody knows how to drive in the snow here.
Oh yeah, you had to learn that quick.
Yes. Well, y'all did. I mean, it was what you did.
Because the only thing that was helpful was sand.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember actually one year we went to go visit my grandparents because we got 2 weeks at springtime. So we drove to see my grandparents in Arizona. And I don't know if it's still there. It was called Leisure World. It was right around the corner, but they weren't there, but they were outside of it. They were in a typical neighborhood. They weren't in a gated community.
What was the name of it?
Leisure World.
I'm not familiar with it.
It was a long time ago, but anyways, on the way home, my dad spun out because there was ice, I don't know, Missouri or something. And he looked down, and down the embankment was snow. Now, my sister and I were fried like French fries because we wanted to get sun. We were going to go home with the tan. So we're miserable in the car. And all of a sudden we hit this cold and this snow and the ice. And my dad spins out and he sees sand at the bottom. He's like, girls, go get one of those pails and get me some sand so I can get out of this mess. So we're in shorts and t-shirts and icicles. We go down the embankment in the ice and the snow to get him some sand to get out of the mess he was in. Not fun. But that's when we lived in Buffalo. We drove from Buffalo to Arizona.
Yeah. Well, hi, April.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Other than over the.
That's right.
Everybody's having lunch right now. I think they're eating away as I can see.
Nice. Where did they meet at?
Well, there's Terry Park, but Tom will be back in a minute. I know he was waiting for you.
Down the road at Chandler's.
Okay, nice. I've not been there before. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get better. We can go out here.
That would be nice.
Yeah. April's my next door neighbor. She lives next door. We share a fence. We talk over the fence.
That's right.
When the dogs in the house, so the dogs are out, we can't talk because they scream. They bark.
That's right.
Out here we have 6-foot walls.
Yeah.
So
April, are you familiar with Rotary?
No, I'm not too familiar with it. We're new to Schaumburg. We just moved here 2 years ago, but I've been working in the district for 6 years. So I'm excited to come today.
Well, that's great. Well, why don't you go to rotary.org?
Okay.
And that'll give you some insight. And maybe Mary Jo can tell you about our website and you can look at that too.
Yeah, that would be great.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, we have a little one still at home right now, but I'm hoping that once we get a little bit past this COVID stuff and everything with the little one too, we would be able to, come out and see it. I know Mary Jo had invited me to participate even, so that would be nice.
well, our past president has twins and I think they're about 9 months old now.
Okay.
So, it's great to see. It would be great to have more young people involved in Rotary.
Yeah, that would be great. I would appreciate that.
Terry, I've got a 6-month-old.
April.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
I
Tom.
have you guys muted, otherwise you'll be
grandson.
everybody will hear now they can.
Oh, good. You have my audio, and it looks like for under my
Anyway,
share
we're gonna
screen-
have our fun and frolic person come up here for about 10 minutes, and then I'll introduce you. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, that would be great. And then if I could share my audio. So I don't know if there's
Hold on,
another.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear
One
me now?
second.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah, I
no,
can
it's
hear
on
you.
me. So April, do you want to share your screen?
I do, yeah. And then I'll also
Okay.
share my audio if that would be okay.
Yeah, that would be wonderful, and then we'll be able to hear you. So, yeah, in about 10 minutes, I'll introduce you, and I'll make sure that. So you're sharing your screen, so I don't need to have the PowerPoint here. Okay.
No, that's okay. I'll go through that so that I can do it at my own pace.
Okay.
I just
I'll
have
put
two
you up
little
on the screen.
snippet videos too to play. So.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to
Thank
plug
you.
this all back in and get us back to normal here.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I tried to use
that?
my things that you send out every week, or that right now Pat sends out. And I was able to do my what's the first one we do?
Balance?
Things we
Well-
think, say, or do.
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about to pay.
Okay.
And there's a spot, you just click on that. And when I tried to do Fun and Frolic, it told me that I couldn't do it. That needed to go to another browser or something.
Well, you weren't willing to give as much money as you need to give.
I can check on that. It's good to know.
But I tried the other two, including paying, just for whatever else, and they both were working just fine.
Okay. I'll check it out. It's that's Wes that does that.
Yeah,
but I'll figure it out.
So put it on the docket. I don't need to do any. I saved $6.
No problem. All right, I'm gonna plug you back into the system, and I'm gonna introduce Alan Gabe. So you guys are live. So
thanks.
Well, April, I didn't know you were the program. Golly.
all righty, everybody, let's get us back to what's happening here. We do have our speakers here, but before we bring our speaker, let us please welcome Alan Gabe.
Hi, thank you very much, Tom. That was really a wonderful introduction. I really appreciate it. So we're going to start off Fun and Frolic today with Bill Kelly paying the first fine because he's on his cell phone.
I'm looking up. You know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing? I'm looking up how to pay a fine.
I'm very proud. That'll be $5, Bill. Roger, while you're standing, how about being a collector? And okay, and Jim Algren, why don't you be a collector? Since you're going to pay a fine because you haven't been here in a long time. So why don't you do that? You knew that was coming. I don't know. What do you want to pay? Okay, so he's going to pay $5. So a lot of you heard about a gentleman who used to be a member of the club, Dave Keeley, who came to visit us. And Dave knows that we don't find guests, but I'm going to make an exception because he's here, didn't call me. Kay didn't call my wife. David's wife was a counselor at Front High School and was a counselor for my two daughters. And because of his wife, my daughter still is very messy. So we're going to find Dave $5 because of that. Okay.
And I'll share that story with my wife and she can call you.
Okay, good. Okay. So Tom, stand up. Tom looks great in his spirit wear, doesn't he? And not only does he look great in it, but it shows all the weight that he's lost. And you look great, Tom. And wait, I didn't say this, Tom. And I'm going to tell you this, and we're not going to read March 21st. That's my birthday. Okay? You knew everybody else's birthdays but mine. Okay, I'm not going to find you. It's okay, but I just wanted to point that out to you. You can sit down now. So if you're not wearing your badge, that'll be a fine. If you're late, that'll be a fine. If you don't have your pin, it'll be fine. If you're Gene Walters, you're going to pay $5. If you don't have a guest at your table, that'll be $2 per. Dave Keeley is not considered a guest. He's a former member, so you don't get away with that, Mike. No. That was a good try, though. Yeah, Daryl, I know I can't see you because you're behind me on the board, but since you're the voice from above, why don't you pay $2? If you did not buy, order the spirit wear, that'll be $5. Come on, you have to have spirit for the club. And Rosemary, did everybody who's here, Rosemary, where'd she go? Oh, hi, Rosemary. Jack was blocking you, you know how big he is. Did everybody who was here pay for the spirit wear that they ordered? No, it was pretty much yes or no. It's a yes or no question. Yes, they did. Okay. So everybody who, as I said, is going to be a very short fun and frolic today because there's not a lot. Everybody who is I hate to do this, but anybody who is a Big Ten alum or has a child who went to a Big Ten school or has a relative who went to a Big Ten school, or if anybody knows anybody who went to a Big Ten school, the Big Ten had 9 teams in the NCAA tournament. They have 1 left. It's very disappointing. So everybody who fits in the category I just mentioned, which happens to be everybody in this room, why don't you pay? Let me see, there's 14 teams in the Big Ten. It's called the Big Ten. So you subtract 10 from 14 is 4, but I don't like having numbers like that because you can't pay with one single. So pay, everybody who is in that category pay $5. And Crystal, even though you're not a member yet, you misled us. You said it's going to snow tonight. It's not supposed to snow. So that'll be $2. Is there any, and obviously everybody in the room has been fine. Now I have a special, extraordinary treat for the club today. One of our members who told me he wanted to remain anonymous, sitting back in the table next to Bruce Dopke and Don Miner, participated in the Carroll Stream golf raffle that they have every year, where they raffled off a golf outing. I'm in this, of course, I didn't win, but he told me he won 3 golf outings and he doesn't even golf. Well, he's gracious enough to offer one of the golf outings to people in the club for a certain price. And remember, the money goes, it's for the kids. This is a foursome at the Deerfield Park District Golf Club. If anybody's ever in Riverwoods, it's a really nice course. So I'm going to auction this off. It's and I will read what the ticket says. It's the foursome with carts at Deerfield Club Golf and Learning Center in Riverwoods. And this is, please make tea time in advance at Deerfield, blah, 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 valid through the 2022 season. So for you non-math majors, that's this entire season. So I'm going to start off the bidding. Now we have a minimum bid. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We're going to start off with $50. So I have $50 for this. $50. Well, the overwhelming enthusiasm. Remember, okay, I got $50. Do I have 100? I need a lot more. I need 100 for foursome. 4 people get together, you'd be rather inexpensive. You got Randy, who's a golfer, and Barry's a golfer, and Roger's a golfer, and Lauren's a golfer, and Bill Kelly. I play golf with him. I'm going to call him a golfer, but he plays golf. Glenn Shergott's a golfer. Eddie Haig's a golfer. Ted Gross, Ryan Berg. Come on, let's go. This is for the kids. I need $200 minimum for this to sell it. So who's going to give me $200 today for this foursome? Goes to our club. All the money we get is going to go to our foundation to do good things for the children. Okay. Do I hear 250? I have 200 from Randy. Do I hear 250?
201 cents.
Okay, so that'll be $5, Barry. So anybody want to 205, 250? 250, 250. Okay, Randy, congratulations. You have a great foursome here. Have a good time. And I'll let you know what dates I'm available so you can take me in your foursome. And Tom, thank you for being an outstanding leader. And don't ever forget my birthday. Oh, I have a quiz today. There's two famous people from Detroit who have a birthday today. Anybody other than Bruce Stopke, who I told this to, anybody who knows who their birthdays were will get a pass from all fines next week. Two famous people from Detroit whose birthday are today. Anybody have any idea who it is? Okay, well, huh?
Kid Rock or Eminem?
No,
Hard rule matters.
only one guess per person. So that'll be $2 each. Anybody else have any guess of who the two famous people are who had birthdays today from Detroit? Okay, the ironic thing is, I know one of them personally, and he was out for his birthday celebrating a few years ago. And the other person was there with her family. And one of the famous people from Detroit whose birthday today is my brother. And he was out in a restaurant a few years ago. And they're at the table with his wife and their kids and some other people. And the group saying happy birthday. Well, there's another famous person sitting nearby who had an entourage, a group of people for her birthday, and they kind of laughed at my brother's group because the other famous person was Aretha Franklin, and she was there with her family. And a little bit of trivia, in the movie Blues Brothers, the backup singers to Aretha during that movie were her sisters. Everybody have a good weekend.
I guess we got a little battery over here. All right, let's see if I can get rid of this. Maybe. That goes. All right. So let's do this.
Okay, to share my screen?
Yes. Are you unable to?
No, I think I'm good. I just wanted to double check you were ready.
Very good. Everybody can see that. Everybody can hear. Just so you know, it's not the screen. It's your desktop that has all of the slides. There you go. That's it. Perfect. All right. Our speaker today is coming remotely. It's also her week off, and still decided to come and give us some knowledge. And without further ado, here's Apryl from District 54.
Hi, thanks everybody. Thanks so much for having me. As mentioned, I'm Apryl Cano. I'm the District 54 Autism Resource Center Specialist. So I also serve as an instructional coach in the district. I support our special education programming in District 54. As you know, we have 28 schools, so there's a lot of staff to support with kids in each of our buildings who need a lot of support and families that go along with it. So today I'm going to talk to you about how our Autism Resource Center came to be and just a little bit about myself. So my background is as a special education teacher. Prior to coming to District 54, I taught special education for 15 years and then worked at the University of Illinois Chicago's Resource Center for Autism and Developmental Delays. This resource center that I worked at out of the university was like no other that I've ever seen. Just a wealth of materials, a lending library that was amazing for families there in the Head Start community to access, just unlimited amounts of resources for parents and staff to check out materials to use, to gather laminated materials. It was really inspiring work that I did there. And when I came to District 54, I had the opportunity to serve as an instructional coach. So this meant that I sat in on a lot of problem-solving meetings where we got together to talk about kids who might be struggling in the classroom. I sat in IEP meetings where we got together with families who had kids who had special education goals, and they might have been having challenges at home and different things that they wanted to work through. And as I was sitting through these meetings, I just kept reflecting on my work out of the university and thought, how amazing would it be if we could have a similar center in District 54 with all of the schools that we support, that we could help families in this capacity. So I kind of just took a little bit of a long shot and brought my idea to our special education department and told them all about the important work out of the UIC Center and talked about how it maybe could apply in District 54. So that became our mission kind of unfolding and the start of our center. So the mission of our center is to provide resources, consultations, and trainings to parents and staff of students receiving special ed services in District 54. So even though we're called the Autism Resource Center, our doors are open for all of our families. So we have families of kids who have a variety of different diagnoses who seek support in the center, as well as teachers who support students outside that autism diagnosis. We also have families and staff members who reach out for support for students who might not even have a diagnosis yet, who might just be in the general education setting and might just be on some staff or parents' radars for some concerns that might be coming up. So this is our mission, and I really wanted to start by sharing just an older video. This is from 2018 when our center kind of came to start in fruition. I like to share this video. I just kind of snipped it real short just because I think it's important for you to see the labor of love that went into the center. So many people summer in different places. I summered in 2018 in the District 54 warehouse. That's where I spent my summer, and I'm so thankful that I got that opportunity. So please join me as we watch the video. So that was just a real quick snip, as I wanted to share with you that we had over 14 pallets of materials, over 2,000 items that we carefully chose, bagged, had to repackage, barcode, and adapt for our students. So a lot of our students, we can't just take a commercially available game and put it in front of them and expect them to know how to play with it. We have to teach our students how to interact with the material. So that meant making a lot of picture supports to go with it. So I'm going to share some of that in a minute, but so that you could get a better sense of what the center looks like today, I have a quick tour of the Resource Center now that it's all together. So I wanted to show you just a quick video of what the center looks like today.
Welcome to the District 54 Autism Resource Center. We provide resources, consultations, and trainings to parents and staff here of students receiving special education services in District 54. We have over 2,000 items available in our lending library. We're really excited to have everything ready to go for parents and staff to check out. Our games are really important for our students with disabilities. We want to teach them social skills and turn taking. We also have some one-to-one correspondence counting boards and just some early math kits to just focus on some early learning skills like sorting, counting, patterning, sorting by size, things of that nature. These are some of the cool science activities. They have a multi-sensory approach so the kids can be more involved and interactive when using them. Thanks so much for taking the tour.
So that was just a little bit of a whirlwind tour so that you could get a picture. As I'm talking through each of these different areas today, I'm going to tell you more about the resources, about the consultation work, and about the trainings that we do out of the center. But it was really just close to my heart, all the work that went into that with the summer crew that, opened each item, counted each of these items up, helped laminate and cut out pictures to go with these activities, and then, to be able to shelve them and get them ready for parents and teachers to be using in classrooms. So this was really exciting work through the center. So just a little bit about our impact before I dive into each of those areas. You can see that our numbers have been huge. We've seen so much growth each year since we've opened in 2018, even with COVID, and maybe even especially with COVID. So in terms of our trainings, we put on over 50 trainings a year out of the center for parents and staff. And you'll look that we've had over 2,500 participants in those trainings. So each year, those numbers just get higher and higher, and the request to support parents and staff has just grown. We provide really important consultation work, and I'll talk to you more about what happens during a consultation, but you can see that those numbers have just increased so much. We're already at 620 parent and staff consultations in the center, and it's just March right now. So you'll see that we originally started out at 384 consults, growing to 475, then to 673, and now we're ready to surpass that number again this year. So I think the awareness of the center, as well as just some of the needs and knowing that people can come to the center to get that support, has really grown. We did have quite a few circulations in that lending library. So these numbers are listed to before COVID, because we've had several COVID mitigations put in place in terms of not having some of those materials being able to be checked in and out of homes and things during COVID. But even despite that, we've just had quite a few circulations, and our staff are back to checking those items out again right now. We hope to open the checkout part again to parents pretty soon as well. So quite a few resources that we've provided to our parents and staff, and just the impact has been huge for us. So to show you just a little bit more about what some of these resources are that people are taking advantage of. So many of our kids have executive functioning challenges. So they're wondering, where am I going throughout my day? What am I doing? How much work do I have to do? What's in it for me if I do what my parents or my teachers want me to do? Many of our kids are wondering that information. So we have visual supports. This beautiful bulletin board up here is really just kind of outlining how we do that in a visual way for our students. So we're showing them using pictures. We use these picture icons that really help our students to know what to expect throughout their day. We have schedules that tell them where they're going throughout the day. We have pictures that break down step by step. What do I do during the toileting process? What do I do to brush my teeth? What do I do to get ready for bedtime? So these are all things that are laminated in the center. They're ready to go. Parents and staff can come into the center and they can say, you know what, I'm really struggling to get my kiddo ready for bedtime. Do you have a visual to help kind of set up a bedtime routine for us? Or I'm really having trouble in the morning getting my kiddo out the door and on the bus. Do you have something to help us with our morning routine? So this is just meant to be a starting point so that there's just quick, ready to go things for staff and parents to start with. And of course, we individualize these materials when we get together in consultation. We do have free printing and lamination services. So we have to make things durable, since some of our students might have behavioral issues, if they have tearing behaviors or things like that, or maybe it's just something that we use every day and we want to make sure it's laminated for good support. We also have a variety of social stories. That's where we explain to our students through a story what might be expected in a certain social situation, or what might be expected if something's going to be different. So this has especially been important during COVID times. We've had to really support families with their students with understanding what it meant to wear a mask. What did it mean to social distance? What does it mean, when classrooms look different? So we've prepared a lot of our families with supports of that nature. So this is just a small sampling of some of the things ready to go in the center that people take advantage of when they walk in. We also provide a lot of support to our specials teachers. So specials classes are things like art, music, PE, library, and media center. So this is a time where a lot of our students like to go out for inclusion. So it's really important that we have the supports for them to be successful when they're in there. So we break down step by step what to expect throughout those activities. What are they going to be doing when they're in each of those classes? And this is one of my favorite pictures. We actually open up before the school year starts. So we make sure we're open a few weeks before the school year starts each year, so that our teachers, especially our new teachers, can come in, take the time to be ready day one for kids to walk in the door. So these are two new teachers taking advantage of our lamination services, taking advantage of the visuals we have ready to go, so that they can set up schedules for their kids, so their kids can know, where am I going throughout the day? When am I in my classroom? When am I going to gym class? When am I going to art? Things of that nature. So it's nice to see that our teachers take advantage of that each year. And as we know, there's just a wealth of information out there about autism and about supporting students with disabilities on the internet. But for a lot of our families, it's hard to know what information to trust. It's hard to know what's the best resource to really be looking at. So our tip sheet wall is full of just great information that comes out of Vanderbilt University. Some of it comes out of the Autism Program of Illinois. We just make sure that we've highlighted reputable resources so that parents and staff can gather resources about things like behavior, communication, accessing the community. supporting changes, especially related to things like puberty or transitions to kindergarten, transitions to junior high and high school. So those are some of the things that are available on our wall. And again, not everything is geared towards our students who have an autism diagnosis. There's also specific information about intellectual disabilities, specific learning disabilities, and things of that nature. So that's just a little bit of the resources that are there. And as you saw in the video, this is our beautiful lending library, our labor of love. So that is over 2,000 items right there. So it's really exciting to have that all come together. So parents and staff come in and they can check out 2 items for 2 weeks to use. They can come back and swap those things out. It's been really helpful for our teachers and our families to have materials to try. Instead of going out and purchasing something for a gift for a child or to purchase something for a classroom before we know if it's something that really works for the student, it's a great way to sample things and kind of try and see if it's a fit and if it helps that student and if it works for them. So it's been really, we've received a lot of really positive feedback about being able to kind of try some of these things out and, you know, come back and change things out and find the right fits for our kids. Again, just a reminder, it wasn't like we could just take these activities and put them up on the shelves. We had to do a lot of prep work to make supports to teach our students how to use those activities. So many of these games have a visual support available. So that means there might be pictures that show how do you play the Chutes and Ladders game? What questions do you ask if you're playing the game Guess Who? So for some of our kids, they need those pictures to be able to interact with some activities, things that we might not think about for students who might be typically developing. So a lot of extra supports went into that. There's also some nice books in there for sibling support, books in there for families who might be seeking support for potty training or for students with ADHD, video modeling DVDs. And I'll show you a few more pictures of those as well. But lots of resources to access from early childhood all the way up. We have activities that start out in the most simplest form and then kind of grow with challenge as the student moves on with their ability levels. These are just a few samples just to give you a little bit of a closer up look at some of these materials in the center. You'll notice some of these activities have a little sign on that might say like donated by Amazon. So we did receive a nice, generous $10,000 donation when opening up the center for some of the items. So we were able to purchase quite a few of the STEM materials, the science and mathematic materials for our students to access. So you'll see some of those as well. So you might be wondering, I mentioned and kind of highlighted parent consultations. So what might a parent need to meet with a professional about? What might they need to meet with me to talk about? Things that we're taking for granted. So thinking about even spring break this week. I know many families who are struggling this week because all of a sudden the routine is different. So the bus isn't coming this week. You know, kids are used to that bus coming every single day, and now all of a sudden Monday comes around this week and that bus isn't coming today, or it's raining outside and now we're not going outside to play. And some of those changes and flexibility things can be hard for some of our students, especially students who might be on the spectrum. So families might reach out for behavioral support to help prepare their students for some of those changes. They might reach out for support if they're preparing for a trip. Getting through an airport can be challenging. As I've had families reach out for that type of support, just even getting through the grocery store and having support to be able to manage following a plan, getting through the grocery store. People reach out also for toileting support. So I help a lot of families set up toilet training support or personal care type of things as kids are getting older and learning to be more independent with getting dressed or doing other chores and responsibilities around their home. And then thinking about the child's IEP. So an IEP is where we get together and we have goals that are developed for the students, for our schools to be responsible for implementing along with the family to help our students be accountable for progress. So sometimes our parents sit in these IEP meetings and it can be really overwhelming to have so many people at the table. So they might get together with me to go over that in a more one-on-one setting if they had questions that they didn't feel comfortable answering in a bigger group. So it's nice to have that kind of connection time to be able to reassure families and support them with what they can do at home to support their child. And then finally, just this last one, the center I also provide, I'm the chairperson for our Northwest Suburban Autism Consortium. So I'm not sure if you've heard of that before, but we get together with over 30 neighboring agencies about every 6 to 8 weeks. So groups like Clearbrook, NWSRA, Little City, things of that nature, we get together and we share free resources or low-cost resources to take back to our families. So it's a way for us to network with each other and make sure that families are getting that support. When are there parent support groups? When are there low-cost activities for their students to participate in? When are there opportunities for sporting events and things of that nature? These are just a few little highlights of some parent consultations in action. I love the picture in the left corner because it was a room mom at Hale who actually decided that for Halloween, pre-COVID times, she saw a visual that we had made and posted on Twitter for the steps for how you trick or treat. And she thought that that was so great and wanted to make sure that every kid in her child's class had one of these schedules to help support them with knowing, what do I do when I go trick or treating? So that's a picture of her sitting in the center, working with our assistant, creating one of these for each of the 8 students in her classroom. Another parent here on the right, creating a hands-on support. In addition to our checkout materials, parents and staff can make materials to keep. So this is some hands-on materials for counting that she's supporting her child with for one of their IEP goals. And then over here in this top left corner, a parent learning how to use our software. We use a software called Board Maker, and that's how we make a lot of the picture icons. So she was trained on how to use that and is using that in our center. So in addition to our support that we offer to our parents, we also offer coaching support. So that means that I might be meeting with a group of teachers or related service staff who might want to sit down to do some planning together to think about how can they change things up for a student who might be struggling in their classroom, or being another set of ears to kind of problem solve a challenging behavior that might be going on. It's also mentoring and building up teachers to be leaders. So giving teachers opportunities to be able to lead presentations out of the center and coaching them to be ready to do that. So those are just a few of the things that we do through the center, supporting curriculum and supporting our teachers and being able to implement that. This is just a little bit of a sample of teachers taking advantage during their plan time coming into the center. These are our early childhood teachers who are frequent flyers in the center. Again, taking advantage of using some of those manipulatives to create hands-on materials for their students. We also provide monthly displays of our curriculum work and what that might look like for some of our students who need additional support during literacy activities. So again, you'll notice the laminator is one of our key things that we use in our center because we're always just making things to be durable and to be able to be used throughout our classroom. So lots of laminating, lots of Velcroing goes into our center work. Example here on the right, a teacher who had a play center for one of her kindergarten students. Instead of the student always having to come to ask for help laying out all of the tracks, we traced each of the tracks so that he could put them on independently and to be able to use that toy for setting up the tracks for the train. So little things like that that we might not think about, all these little intricate details that help our students to be independent and to be able to access their classroom environment and home environment. Again, during those trainings and professional development times, we have had over 50 trainings outside of our weekly professional development that we support in buildings. So that's been a great opportunity for us to have topics that support our special education staff as well as our parents. So we survey our parents and our staff to kind of get the needs from the community and see what they would like to learn about. And then we have our teacher leaders and our department chairs present out of the center as well as myself, and sometimes some outside presenters who might come in for special occasion things. Few picture samples of some of our trainings here in action. You can see we have a paraprofessional training where they did more of a hands-on training, creating some of those picture supports to use with students, an assessment training that we do within our low incidence programming for our students with more significant disabilities. So one of our curriculum-based assessments that we provide in the district. And then these are just some other examples. I love this one because our sign up and interest for the inclusion training was so popular and in demand that we had to overflow to the library because we just couldn't fit everybody into the center. So it was really exciting to see our numbers grow. And now that we've been able to provide so much on Zoom as well, we've been able to offer a lot more flexibility to families as well as parents in participating. We do go off-site sometimes to support our buildings. So, I've been asked to go and lead some of these make and take type things to support curriculum with the groups of teachers. They call it job alike. That's where different teachers of similar jobs get together and they have different topics of interest. So this is just an example of a math workshop that I led. And then we also do the same for our parents. So these are our parents creating materials for winter break to prepare their children that it's going to be a little bit different, that they're not heading to school, that they're going to stay home for the winter break for a couple of weeks. So it's kind of nice to just see families getting together. And again, this was before COVID times, and we had to put some other mitigations in place, but this is nice because families were able to kind of support each other and network with each other and connect where they might not have connected otherwise. So they're able to, you know, share different things that might be challenging or things that might be working with their children and resources and things of that nature. We've also brought in some outside presenters. So here's an example from our puberty and hygiene training, where we brought in an outside speaker to present to our parents. And then this is just a sample of some of the upcoming trainings we've had the second half of this year. So again, we put a lot of thought into leading some of these activities for our parents and staff throughout the district and throughout each part of the school year. I just wanted to kind of close with some of these parent testimonials. I won't read the whole thing. I'll just leave them up on the screen a little bit. But really the first one just talked about a family who was just so grateful because they received support from the center and preparing to travel because they were just really worried with their child's behavioral concerns about how they were going to get through the TSA lines and how they were going to get through the airport and what were they going to do when they had to go to a store when they got on their other end of their destination, when their child was kind of overly focused on specific items in the store. So this is a family member who just expressed a lot of gratitude for the supports we provided and being able to help them get through that experience. Another support from a family who was just really pleased with all the materials we have available in the center so that they could try things out ahead of time before purchasing things. And just talking about how, you know, this is just kind of a rare thing to find in the school district and that they were just really appreciative of how it supported their child. And then this last one just was just a really kind email from another family who just really was appreciative of the guidance during consultation that we provide to this one's thanking for supporting his wife on supporting her child in the early childhood program. So it's just really kind to see some of the feedback that we've received from families. And these are just a few samples of some of the work that we're doing. So right now, kind of as we're transitioning back after COVID, we are open for staff to be coming in and out of the center. And we're slowly getting ready for our parents to be able to come in and out of the building as well for that. But we continue to be providing consultations and trainings on Zoom for our parents every day. And then we also are getting ready for our summer hours where we hoping to kind of have a new kind of re-grand opening again and hope that our parents will be able to start checking some of those wonderful materials back out again as well. We are on social media, so you can follow us on Twitter at the D54 ARC, so you can see the important work that we do each day. And I know that was just kind of a whirlwind overview, and I would love to be able to tour everyone, but I hope that gives you a little bit of a glimpse of the important work that we're doing in District 54. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to be able to support students and staff in this capacity in the district. So thanks for allowing me to share my story and the story of the center.
Thunderous applause in case you missed it. We got 2 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? Rachel?
I was going to ask if any of the trainings are offered outside of parents or the teachers.
Were you able to hear that, or do you need?
No, would you be able to repeat for me?
Sure. Do you have any trainings that are available for people other than parents and staff? Right?
Yeah.
You mean outside of District 54?
Correct.
Yeah, so we right now we only provide our trainings to parents and staff within District 54, but we do record those trainings and we upload them to our District 54 YouTube channel. So we do have an ARC YouTube channel that people can go and watch at a later time. And I'm always happy to kind of direct people to other trainings within the community and often post some of those things on our Twitter feed if you follow us on there as well.
Very good. That was from the representative from NW. SRA. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Are there any other
one more question? Anyone? Probably because you don't want me to misinterpret the when I All right. Well, thank you so much, April. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Let's see what you can do. There's that. You know, I've been avoiding the quote for so long. Why don't we go ahead and everybody rise? And Pat, after you guys doing such an amazing job with the spirit wear, we got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? Would you lead us in the four-way test?
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it true? True. Goodwill, better friendships. Will be beneficial to all.
Daryl, we all start cracking up when we hear the voice from above. I've had this quote for a few weeks and I keep not doing it. Probably because I can't read it, right? The essence of Rotary will likely continue to be as undefinable as life itself. Therefore, we cannot hope for too many results from definitions of Rotary, but must rely on Rotarians acquiring a working knowledge of the appropriate activities which they are expected to perform and urge them to carry on those activities and to practice in their daily lives. I thought that was kind of long, good stuff. So thank you all so much. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Would you have Dave Keeley walk up to the microphone?
Sure. Hey, Dan Keeley. Come up here a second. You have a fan that wants to say hi to you.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, David. How are you?
I'm fine. Good to see you participating. Where are you?
Goodyear, Arizona.
Where?
Goodyear, Arizona.
Okay, well, I'm in Prescott, Arizona, so.
Yeah, I know you were up there, but I kind of lost. We got hacked on our phone system and lost all of our stuff, and I didn't have you anywhere else but on there.
Good. Well, it's good to see you, and your booming voice came over very well here.
Well, it can get better than that, you know.
That's good. And you're doing well in Goodyear?
Oh yeah, you know, this is just retirement. We do, you know, my wife does a lot more than I do, but still playing golf and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm still involved too. I do a little bit of golfing and do some church activities. That is what occupies my time now.
Yeah.
Hello, David. This is Terry.
Sounds like Terry Park. Hi.
It is. Yeah.
Where are you, Terry?
We're in Naples, Florida.
Oh, you are? Do you live there permanently, or is this a winter thing?
And we own a condo down here, so we are snowbirds.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, we're snowbirds too.
Joanne wanted me to say hello to you to Kay.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, please share that with her.
I will do that. It's good to see you guys, even though you were just looking on screen. I mean, I was watching you while people were talking, so that's good. Good to see you. Absolutely. So we're here. We're here because my daughter is a teacher, and they have this week off. So we came to give them a little bit of respite. So they took a couple of days off and went away. And next week, their kids in a different school district have time off. So we're going to be taking care of those kids while my daughter's working.
How fun.
Cool.
Well, I'll have fun, but then I'll be dead tired at the end of a week. So I'll go home and relax.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you trying to say they're not teenagers?
Huh? 14 years old and 10 years old. So we're
well, that's pretty close. Yeah.
We have a planning session every day next week. And I hope that some of their friends call and I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what's going on. So,
well, so Dave, what's your telephone number?
928-533-9311. That's my cell phone, and I answer it about 50% of the time.
Well, I only hear mine 50% of the time.
All right. Well, maybe it sounds like we may get together.
I like that.
Okay, good. Summertime in Prescott is beautiful.
Yeah, well, it's not here and I don't come out during the summer.
Yeah,
He
okay.
comes out for close to a month.
Uh-huh. Okay. So do
My
you come
wife
back?
comes out for almost a month, but I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, but are you permanently in Goodyear or do you
No.
have? No,
No.
you come back here.
We're Sun City Huntley people.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Debbie's folks had a house and she and her sister never sold it. So when we retired, we thought that'd be a good place to be.
Good.
And we got a place down here, so.
Well, that's good. As long as you can maintain that pace, I think that's a great thing to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're starting to talk now about whether we're going to continue driving because we've got 3 cars and one stays at each location all the time and the other goes back and forth.
Okay.
So we
okay,
come
good.
down in October and drive it back in May.
All right. Sounds good. I like it. Hey, Mike has to go someplace, so I'm gonna go off. So it was great to see you guys.
Take care,
and
buddy.
You're looking good. You're
care.
looking good, both of you. Yeah.
Take
And
care
I'll
of
say-
yourself.
And I'll say hello to my wife and
Please do.
Please do.
and all that good stuff. All right.
Take care,
right.
Dave.
Take care. I don't know
Thanks,
how to
Dave.
sign off, so I'm just
No
leaving.
problem. That's what I'm here for.
All right.
All right, no problem. It's great meeting you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm ending this shindig.
Thank
See
you.
you guys